Alrighty guys, so I'm going to go over how do I do my day trading option strategy. This is one of my most favorite strategies out there. It's really nice because you're getting trend reversals, and some of these options are going to make you well over 100, 200, 300% plus gains because we're catching tops and bottoms. All right, these are going to be monster reversal candles you're getting when price is volatile. It's not going to be consolidating. Because as an option trader, you need price to be very volatile because if it's going sideways, you lose just on the time decay. So I'm just going to talk about what I've learned, and then talk about the strategy. I think this is one of the best strategies out there. You're going to win well over 90%. Of course, nothing is perfect, but let me show you guys the tips and tricks that I do. Give you a recap, and as always, I alert all these plays that I take in the Discord. So if you're part of the Discord, I appreciate all of you guys. I'll go live every time in the Discord in the day trade live stream. You can't miss it. But let's get right into the main stuff and talk about. So, right up in here, I'm going to show you the day trade live streams here. You could see the day trade live stream is right here, and then the day trade alerts is going to be right here. We took some calls. We took a lot of positions on Friday. I'm going to talk about the good and the bad and what I did. All right, Friday we had a very monster sell off. You can see on SPY it tanked a lot. I mean, we were having that, this 8:30 news of the jobs report, and then it just kept going down, right? So what I look for is I look for a 15-minute touch of the bands. I use Webull. I have all these settings in my Discord too. Just watch that. I don't want to go. That's not the purpose of this. This is the purpose of discuss the options strategy. But when we hit this up lower band, it doesn't mean we get in right away. It's just a signal to say, hey, we need to look for buys. The most important thing that I like to do is look at the daily support levels, because this gives us a longer, like a more solid foundation, right? Because ideally what I want to do is I want to turn this day trade into a swing trade, because the swing trade is what's going to make you the big money. Yes, we're going to day trade these and get those gains, but I also go break even. That's how I got over 300% gain on Roblox and over 200% on Palantir calls yesterday. And Reddit would got you 100% this last week. You're always going to usually get a 100% gainer with this strat. There's always something out there, whether you're taking puts or calls. But if you look at SPY, there's a very good demand zone, right up in here, right? The farther left you look, the better it is, too. So if I look at candles all the way to here, you see this candle here, this has more significant than candles just recently, right? Because they have more significance. But SPY is at an all-time high, so there's not really much to look at, right? The last week look up on the daily chart is just down here at August 12th. That's the most recent. But as you can see, what I look for is wicks, because that's where buyers had control. Now, it doesn't have to be precise, right? We could see that, right here, I put the support line here. You can see that there's a lot of wicks down here that can act as support. So we know there's a general consensus of this is big support. So I mark out my levels of, big support on SPY. You can see right up in here we have support. And right up in here, it went a little lower than we thought, right? And then there's support here. So I try to look at, well, what's the most significant support levels, right? Obviously, this one right here is the biggest, but is SPY going to hit that in a single day? It's not as, often. So that what I look at is also the ATR4 settings on FinViz that I discuss a lot of times and how often it moves. But another easy tool to use is EMAs. You can see when, let's get rid of these lines. You can see when SPY comes down into this EMA 20, it's a strong foundation of support. We hit this 20 and we go up. Hit this 20, it can go a little lower and then it goes up. We have not touched this EMA 50, so with reversion to the mean, we are going to come back to this 50, but it's going to keep going up as time goes. We are in a solid uptrend due to the EMAs expanding up. So what I look for this strategy is, I look for these EMAs. I caught a little off guard here. I was looking at SPY here on this EMA 5, but it decided to go to this daily support here. You see this daily support here, and it went through that 10. So it was a harder day. It went to, but as you can see, we did get out break even in the Discord, and that's what I want to say is, like, if it's not working well for you, you need to get out of the trade. So on the 15-minute chart, we were well below here. The EMA 20 As you can see on the 1 minute EMA 20, anything that don't touch the EMA 20 and 30 minutes is long, right? I actually got in somewhere on this support here in here on the EMA 5. It went a little lower than I thought it would. I accumulated 3 times, and then once it hit that 20 and went a little above, I got out because it just wasn't as good as a trade, and it just kept wanting to go down to the bigger support level. So I just readjust and go from there, and that's why I alerted some plays here. I got in Celsius. That's where I made the money and all that. But let's talk about the trades that that's a harder trade. And I always tell people 20% max stop loss. Like if it hits this EMA 20 and you're down with say 5%, it is so much better to take this 5% for price to just make a new low. Because what happens is this happens a lot. Price will go up and it'll come back down on that 20. All right, so that 1 minute is your first target. EMA 50 is your second target. Let me show you a play that I took that was really I want to show you a harder play, and I want to show you plays that I took that made me the monster money too. I took Roblox down at this day right in here. No, not that one. It was like 121. I remember it to a T. Yeah, it was this one. I took Roblox down in here. What happened is we had that 15-minute touch, we had the daily support, and then we had the 1 minute touch in here. So if I look on August 27th, where I made a monster amount of money on Roblox, I hit the go-to feature here on August 27th. I mean, this strategy literally will print you money. So don't get all fluttered about, oh, I lost one trade and I lost 20%. As you can see, we had that monster 15-minute that I showed you. As always, with the 1 minute is the most important one. You have to wait 15 minutes of not touching the CMA 20 because this is what price can do. It can scour this band and like this, right? It'll touch it and make new lows like that. So right in here, we have a touch at 936. Wait 15 minutes. You have right in here is that 15-minute mark. I waited for that new touch. I literally got in here at the very low. Our first target is the 20, and then your second target is the 50. All right. That right there is your day target. And then after you hit those, you go break even and you hold overnight. And this thing went up 300%. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, that's insane returns, right? So what I like to do is I like to take out 50% on this 20 and 20% on this EMA 50 and hold those last 30% of contracts for the home run hit. Because, a lot of times it will hit this 20 and go down, or hit this 50 and make a new low. It can, but what we're trying to do with this strategy is trend reverse it. We're trying to get an uptrend. We have a downtrend on the 1 minute, and we start making an uptrend on the 1 minute, the 15 minute, and so on. But it's so crucial to look at daily support levels because when I took this trade, it was on this candle here. Remember this August 27th? You mark your daily support levels. So I marked this level right up in here at this top wick. And we had this bottom wick here, top wick here. To the left, we had monster daily support. So when you're marking your daily support levels, you see Roblox going down on this day. Well, you just look to the left and be like, well, where's all these wicks acting as buys? Right here, we hit this wick, we go up, right? So that looks like a good support level. We hit this right in here was resistance before. So now it should turn support. So when you break out of an upper wick, it should return support. So in this general thesis, it's support. Well, what do we have right in here? We have support. We had this upper wick. We break out on these candles here, so now it's going to act as support. And so when I seen all this, I say, you know what? We marked that area. We had the 15-minute. We had the 1 minute. And as you can see, on this next day up in here, my calls went up over 300%. We went, this was a 5% return on the stock price from the low here. And I had weekly's options, so you can see how fast those options move. And it's still maintaining up. Yeah, that's just something I use. It was also on in the EMAs too. We came back to those EMAs. You can look at lots of plays in the Discord that I learned. Now keep in mind, not everything works out to the T. Some you will have some trouble with. For HIMS, I took puts. I could trade anything in here. When I traded HIMS, we made really good money here. As you can see, we hit this 15-minute. We had the daily resistance that I marked out. It was right up in here. It hit it, rejected, but then it ended up going up higher. That's why you take those gains on that 1 minute EMA 20 and 50, hold that last 30% for a home run hit, just in case if it makes a new high, you're like, whatever. I already took most of them out. I already made over, on this play I took twice. I made over 15% each time. That's 30% returns. and in literally 15 minutes I made that. So that's why we're catching tops and bottoms. When price is doing this, there's no trade. There's no imbalance. Right now you're just consolidating. You're not extremely oversold or extremely overbought. So I'm looking for 15 minute to the downside and 15 minute to the upside on my bands. I have the settings in my Discord. If you're not in it, just join it. It's literally $12 a month. But I'm just making this video for others, just see. The most important is the 15 in the daily minute and the daily chart, and that 1 minute is your sniper entry, okay? But yeah, you can look at HIMS and you can start marking out the resistance areas. So you can see that clearly when you touch an EMA 50, there's going to be some resistance here. As you can see, HIMS touches this 50 and then comes back down. So once you have that 15 in the 1 minute coincide with this daily resistance here, there's a good chance that, hey, HIMS is probably going to go down somewhere in this general area with this upper wick here. It looks really good for resistance. But yeah, look at all my plays that I recently took. You can go to my day trade alerts and just get a recap. It's been really good. Reddit, right in here. Reddit made over 100% gain on the Reddit puts that I alerted. Right up in here, where did I see Reddit? It was this day right in here. Now, look at this monster oversold on Reddit, right? We had this monster 15-minute chart at 239. Well, I marked daily resistance on Reddit when it made a monster move down right up in here, where it should cool off. We hit this upcoming resistance here around this candle, and look at this monster wick down we've had. It made over 100% return on that. Now, it can definitely come back up and break it, but there's a thing called it needs to cool off. Like, definitely on that intraday time frame, this is unsustainable. We had resistance here, 15-minute, 1 minute, and boom. This made, look at this monster move down. This is a 8% drop on the option, on the stock. Our options were up way over 100%. So, yeah. It's just a really nice strategy. Like I said, a lot of people are asking me, well, how do I do the daily support resistance, demand zones, and all that? You're just looking to the left of where price rejected and all that. For resistance, you're looking where, price had a heavily down, right? You can easily see this candle here, we had a pretty heavily down move here, right? This is when it started coming down, and you can see right here, there's long lower wicks right in here, right? So if you see these long lower wicks, we break out of it. Now it's just like support and resistance. When you break support, it should act as now resistance. So you flip the tide in this area here. So, but the main thing is making sure that 15-minute and 1 minute coincide. But yeah, this is a really good strategy. It's very beginner friendly. Anybody can do it. How do I do my options? I usually buy weekly options that are near $1 premium, so it makes it very simple, stupid. So you can look at Reddit right in here. Obviously the market's not open, so the premiums are not as tight. I would be looking for around that 130 to 150 is my sweet spot on buying premium. But yeah, Reddit's really nice. It's a really nice. It's gonna be noisy. Okay, but Reddit right in here, you just look for that near $1. But that kind of sums up what I'm doing here. Obviously it's easier said than done. That's why I do go live every day in the live stream. You'll see me go live, and you guys are gonna make a ton of money if you do this strategy. Okay, but as always, guys, click the link in the YouTube bio, and in the description there will be a link that joins the Discord. It'll say join the Discord for my alerts system, and when you do that, it'll take you to this free chat landing page, and just hit how to subscribe and hit day trade alerts. If you're already in the Discord, I appreciate you so much. Literally, it's $12 a month. Make most of my money in trading, so it doesn't matter. But obviously, if I'm taking my time out to go live every day, I'm going to charge just a little bit so you guys take this serious too, and it's worth my time. But yeah, it's a really nice strategy. You can do this however you want. This is called the day trading option strategy, where you can make over 100% returns. You're taking those sniper entries, taking those base hits on the EMA 20 and 50, scaling out, go break even after you hit that 1 minute EMA 20. Now, if your average is not good, like on the SPY on Friday, it hit the EMA 20 and I just broke even. I just got rid of all my position and made a minor gain. So, like, for example, on this, let's say you got in on SPY right in here on calls, and you accumulated in this area, and it just was being very stubborn. It kept going to the next daily support, and then it finally go up. I'm like, this is not worth trading. Just it hit the 20, it can easily reject, and that's what it did. get out of the trade. It's better to take a 5% loss, 2% gain, than just taking a 20% max loss on this. And that's what could happen. But we know everything reverts to the mean, guys, and this is why it's one of the best strategies out there. We know that, up in here, we're going to hit the 5, we're going to hit the 10, we're going to hit the 20. We just don't know the exact timing. But when we're down at this oversold territory, we can definitely come back up. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this. Give this video a like, subscribe, comment, join the Discord by hitting the link down below, the comments below, and the description. $12 a month if you just subscribe. Use your computer to subscribe to avoid the iOS fee, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.